The latest field poll shows Meg Whitman virtually tied with Jerry Brown in California's race for governor. Whitman is spending $100 million of her own money. It's unprecedented, and it's also paying off.
The governor's race, it's a dead heat. We have Brown at 44%, Whitman at 43%. So it's looking like a very close race.
I'm Meg Whitman, and I'm running. Whitman is closing this gap by targeting Hispanics with a media buy. Television commercials during the World Cup, ads on Spanish-language TV, wherever she can reach the Latino vote and reclaim some of the ground she lost in her primary battle with Steve Poizner, where she took a hard line on immigration reform.
But in this poll, what we're finding is that Whitman is doing quite well among Latinos, at least better than most the Republicans have done in the past. She's only trailing by 11 points. Latinos are about 18% of likely voters. It's a fast-growing group in California. So for only an 11-point margin, that's actually quite an accomplishment.
That 11-point gap means Latinos are 50% in favor of Brown, 39% in favor of Whitman.
So to be ahead only 50 to 39, it should be worrisome to him.
Dr. Henry Brady is dean of the Goldman School of Public Policy at UC Berkeley. Dean Brady points out that Whitman's is the only voice on the airwaves right now, and she's controlling the message.
She's clearly trying to paint Jerry Brown as a failed politician with the hope that that message will get through and then basically she can coast to victory.
Jerry Brown will start fighting back. How and when may be determined by his finances, though how Brown plans to combat Whitman's war chest is uncertain.
And certainly the lore in political science would be that naturally things will shift once he gets into the race. Certainly we know there's been many candidates, like in this state, Al Checkey, who ran in a primary race against Gray Davis, spent $40 million and in the end didn't win the primary. Michael Huffington, who spent around $25 million and in a general election against Dianne Feinstein and didn't win. So there's certainly a sense in which a lot of money does not necessarily buy you the election. At the same time, this is a lot more money than we've ever seen before. Even when we adjust for inflation, Meg Whitman is spending already about double what Checkey or what Huffington spent in the past. She's got a lot of money, and we don't know in this territory whether if you spend enough money, you can get such an indelible impression out there that it's very hard for anybody to turn it around.
Measuring the reach of Meg's money by her media buy is an important metric. But are Californians really listening?
Not really, but I was hearing some news, so I'm more focused on my business than on politics.
That's not really reaching me, because I don't really pay attention to mainstream media, because I know it's already bought and paid for.
It really depends on how much education you already have, how much you already know. I bet you if you were to ask so many people that come from my background, I'm sure none of my uncles or none of my family knows what's going on about that.
No one we spoke to seemed to believe people are listening to the core messages in the advertising right now. Voters seem to be responding basically to brand awareness, and Whitman's camp is defining both Jerry Brown's brand as well as her own. The road to November's general election is still a long one, and either campaign can still skyrocket or fizzle once voters begin paying attention. Jennifer Fay, Calbuzz News, Santa Clara.